Hey guys, welcome back.
It's the Spider Pals podcast. Back with another episode.
I'm Addie.
I'm Zach.
And I'm B-Man.
And today we are talking about
the Spider-Man Brand New Day trailer. Before we get into our trailer breakdown, with Spider-Man Brand New Day just around the corner, it is time for you guys to pick up some brand new merch.
With this merch drop, we have t-shirts, hoodies, sweatshirts, and stickers available. They will all be in the link in our bio, along with a link in our Instagram accounts. So if you guys want to show off the Spider Pals podcast, make sure to check those out. So when the trailer dropped, we were actually all together, which was really nice, because I don't think we've been together for a trailer drop before.
Yes, it was very cool. We were actually on our way back from our Florida vacation, which will be in our next video. So make sure you hit the subscribe button and the notification so you're notified when that video drops. It's going to be a great vlog. Put a lot of work into it. Well, we were driving back, and I woke up in the car. It was 3 minutes old. Addie was sitting in front of me at the time. I tapped her on the shoulder. I was like, "Wake up! Here it is. It's right here." Charlotte, and our editor, and Bravery were both asleep at the time. I was like, you know what? Let's just watch it, and then we'll show them later. Well, we're like 5 seconds into the trailer, and Tom Holland goes, "I'm Peter Parker." Those words just
woke them up.
It's just summoned Bravery. He just woke up.
Yeah.
And then Charlotte woke up shortly after that, so we all got to watch it together when it was very, very new. It was super exciting. Very cool to see. Definitely, it has everything that I would like to see out of the trailer, everything I was kind of hoping for, like the tone, kind of the themes they're going to follow. Definitely a couple other things in there that I was not expected to see. It was very interesting. Some of they're definitely taking it in a different direction that we've not seen in any of the games or the comics or the movies before. But it'll be very interesting to see.
Initially, when I saw the trailer, I was very excited. We talked about when we were driving down to our trip that the vlog's coming out, we were talking about like, yeah, they might drop the trailer, but we all know Brand New Day trailer has been rumored to drop for about a year now. So I didn't believe it. I didn't think it was actually going to drop. It would have been nice, but it just didn't seem realistic. And I'm excited to see Sadie Sink in it. I have watched her from Stranger Things, and I know she's an amazing actor. I have seen some theories that she's Jean Grey. Have you guys seen those as well?
I have, yes.
Yep.
Which would be cool because that would also help kind of tie into Doomsday with Cyclops being in it.
Yeah.
That would kind of interject and kind of tie that little story together. I think that would be really cool to see. I don't really know how like an X-Men character and how she's going to interact with Spider-Man. We've not really seen anything like that before, so it'll be interesting to see. It'll be cool if they have, kind of like either like they kind of team up to take on some villains, or like maybe she's a villain actually in this movie, and then they kind of play it off that. I also have seen some theories as well as where they haven't shown a lot of villains necessarily in the trailer because they think that Peter's eventually going to become the villain, like either Man-Spider. I don't know if they're going to do Man-Spider. I hope they don't, just because I think the concept personally is a little weird, and I don't think all these girls would be able to seeing Tom Holland turn into this massive monster. I don't think it would not be good for the girls out there. All the girlies for crushing on Tom Holland. It'll be too much for them to handle. I don't think they should do it.
On the Man-Spider theory, I have seen two separate theories where Peter Parker is kind of the like villain or eventually dies in this movie, which has been very interesting because I know everyone's like, oh, Venom. It's not going to happen in this movie, guys. It's just not. I don't think they've set it up properly enough for that to actually happen. But I do think that could be in the following Spider-Man movie. So I saw this one theory where obviously Man-Spider, that has been kind of the trending theory of what's happening just because of the web cocoon. Basically, the Man-Spider theory has been kind of the biggest thing that people have been touching on, and I think it's a good theory. I think Marvel would have to have a lot of guts to do it. I think they can do it. I've seen lots of different portrayals of it where, like, the, like, actual extra, like, legs of the spider are, like, hands, which Marvel, no, don't do that. They could, if they're gonna turn him into Man-Spider, make it more spider realistic than man.
Yeah,
But
For
I
sure.
did see another theory, and I don't know if I know enough about this, so people don't get mad if I say something incorrect. The Morlum guy, I don't know who he is. I saw it on TikTok like right before we started filming, and it kind of piqued my interest. It's this villain guy that like eventually like takes out Spider-Man's eye. They have this whole fight. Spider-Man almost dies a gajillion times, and long story short, Spider-Man dies defeating him, I think. And then the Venom goes over the grave and then revives him. So even that kind of theory of the Venom reviving him could play into Man Spider as well, where Jean Grey and Hulk team up to take out Spider-Man, and then he's revived, and then that's when we get the Venom Spider-Man for potentially Secret Wars or the next Spider-Man movie. So that was something I saw that I have. It's been on TikTok for me, so I don't know how many people have actually seen it, but those were the two theories that I thought were pretty logically sound.
Yeah, I had a kind of a similar theory with that. It would be interesting. I don't necessarily want him to become the villain in this movie, personally. And if they do, that's okay. I personally don't want him to become a villain just for the sake of becoming a villain, just because it's been so long since we've seen just like a normal grounded Peter Parker Spider-Man. And it's like if they just kind of like mess with that a little bit, it would be a little disappointing for me personally. But I would be okay if like they essentially killed him at the end of this movie, and then in Secret Wars or the next Spider-Man movie, we see like Venom like kind of revive him. I think that would be a cool way to go, just because we haven't seen that before in any movies. And then another thing to tack onto that, I do think it would be cool to see him kind of dealing with like the mutations and everything, like give us some time focusing on that, but also giving us like him just being normal Peter Parker as well. Like if the say like the decent like first half of the movie would be nice if he was just like normal Peter Parker Spider-Man as we've seen him before, like the like mechanical web shooters and all that, and then like halfway in the movie then kind of him dealing with it for the rest of the movie. I think that would be good, just because I think the balance I think would be there if they kind of split those two parts up.
To play off your theory, the Doomsday post-credit scene could just be the grave of Peter Parker, and then the symbiote crawls on top of it, and then it's Spider-Man will return in Avengers Secret Wars. That would be such a post-credit scene.
That would be
like
awesome.
The Avengers just lost to Doom, and then like the mid-credit scene is like Loki fighting Doom, and then the end credit scene is Peter Parker's grave, and then the symbiote comes on top of it.
That would be pretty awesome.
That would be so sick. And then you'd have to wait a whole year.
We've done it before. We can do it again. It'll be okay.
One theory I did see with him having the organic webs now as well is because of the multiverse and all that, could him being around Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man who has organic webs and just around him in general, if that created some sort of multiversal occurrence where his genes are going to start mutating because of his interactions with Tobey, and other people are theorizing, okay, if that's true, then maybe Andrew will also have like the mutated genes of like having the real spider webs as well. If Tobey was causing them to have mutations because the spider that bit Tobey was like different, obviously.
Yeah.
And just like being around him in general would like cause them to start like becoming more powerful. Because one, you can't argue that Peter having organic webs is more like Spider-Man like. It's more like Spider like to have like actual organic webs, not just mechanical webs, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So it gives him, it just makes Spider-Man in general a little more important because, you know, he literally has webs that come out of him. It's not just like.
Yeah, so if that is true and Andrew ends up getting like a mutation and getting organic webbing, wouldn't it be so cool if all three do come back together for Secret Wars?
Yep.
And like maybe it's the same interaction from No Way Home, but in reverse, where Andrew shoots Tobey and Tobey touches, he's like, you have organic webbing now? Like, it's a whole discussion.
That
Like, oh,
would be
yeah, I
awesome.
do too. And then Tom jumps in. It's like, oh, yeah, I do too.
Yeah.
And then, like, it's an unironic pointing meme, but it's all of them just saying, you have organic webbing now? You have organic
Right.
webbing?
That would be really
That
cool.
would be really funny.
I do hope that Peter.
Same thing.
When we talk about the three Spider-Man, I always just associate them with their actor names,
Yeah,
not
Tom,
like
Andrew,
because they're all
Yeah.
Peter. So it's like I just call them by like their actor name. I don't know.
Peter one.
But it would be cool if Peter in Brand New Day, like either mentions or comes up with the idea, like mentions Toby's Spider-Man in some way, like if like his, or
Yeah.
like, even if he's like just talking to himself, or
Mhm.
like because he's gonna make the connection of like he met a Spider-Man who has organic webs, and now he's gonna have organic webs. So I'm hoping that Toby at least gets mentioned in the movie. I think would be cool.
Yeah.
So a theory that I actually just came up with. So say Marvel is going the Man Spider route. I feel like Peter, with Bruce's help, which, like, Bruce is pretty smart too. I think with his help, they would realize that is happening. And I think all these scenes where we see Peter Parker in a lab trying to figure out what's going on, he might be trying to prevent it. And then that might lead him to the symbiote. And that might potentially stop the mutation from continuing. Because if you look at how the symbiote kept Harry alive, and
Right.
PS5,
That's a good idea.
Mm-hmm.
that might,
Just cook 'em with that
you know,
one.
be the cutoff thing, but I'm not quite sure how they would play that either. Another interesting thing, I'm just kind of leaning into Secret Wars Doomsday, wherever we're going to see all the Spider-Men potentially back together again. It would be interesting to see Andrew with the symbiote and
Oh yeah.
maybe
And
that
Toby's
being
like, "Guys,
portrayed
don't
just a
do
little bit. Because, like,
Mhm.
say that, like, Andrew got critically hurt, the symbiote leaves Peter and goes to Andrew.
Yeah.
I think everyone knows what I meant by that. But,
Yeah. I follow.
But that would also
Yeah.
be a potential interesting thing. But I think another thing to talk about with this trailer is obviously MJ and Ned and what they are doing. Because it is clear from the photos, which I will throw up a few now or have Charlotte throw up a few. It's clear they're trying to figure out who Spider-Man is. And
Yes.
if you remember from Homecoming, MJ drew Peter in her book. When they were in detention,
Mhm.
she drew Peter multiple times every time they were in a detention thing together. So
Right.
she has his face. That's a record. So
Unless through Doctor Strange's spell it got erased or
But-
just like altered,
but-
like all the photographs of him.
but he wasn't erased in those photographs. His face was covered.
Yeah.
Right.
So, my theory is, in one of the trailer shots, you can see in the background, she has a bunch of pictures of Spider-Man and lots of different things pinned up, and they're blurred. Which, Marvel, you did that on purpose. Rude. One of those could be the drawing of Peter, and the whole reason
Yeah.
that they might have that house party thing is trying to draw Peter out and kind of get an idea, because they might think he's Spider-Man. She might know she's in love with Spider-Man. She's still wearing the Black Dahlia necklace.
Right.
She might have pictures with Peter when he's in the suit with the mask, and that wouldn't be erased. So
Mhm.
she,
Right.
I don't know. I think she's smart enough to figure it out, and obviously
Yeah.
Paul, we all hate Paul. But I guess he's in this
Hey,
now.
Paul could be a good. Paul,
Mm.
no hate to Paul. He
I
could
don't
be.
like
he could be
Paul.
chill. You know.
No.
He'll like become a
Um,
villain at some point.
Most
And
definitely.
like Ned, I still think they're going to turn Ned into Hobgoblin, as much as I wish
For
they
sure.
don't. He's definitely going that route. And it's clear they're trying to figure out who Spider-Man is, and I think they're eventually going to figure it out. And I think this movie's
Mhm.
going to end kind of with like not her remembering, but like kind of some sort of remembrance, and being like, okay, well, we can be friends. But she obviously, I feel like if you just found out you were in love with somebody, you have to re-fall in
Yeah.
love with them.
Yeah.
Another thing that also will portray into this is the void that happened in Thunderbolts affected everyone, almost everyone, in New York.
Hmm.
Meaning that also affected Ned, MJ, Peter, and in the Void Rooms, some of their like worst moments or scariest moments. It would be interesting to see why MJ doesn't use her mother's maiden name. I think it's her mother's, because she in No Way Home, they're like, what'd they say? Like Michelle Jones
Michelle
Watson, and
Jones
she's
Watson.
like, no, it's just Jones. So it'd be
Yeah.
interesting to potentially see that, but also Peter might be in the void rooms. That is something that would be unaffected by Doctor Strange's spell, since it was like kind of unforeseen, or they might just see a blurry face. So that also could have affected them trying to figure out who Spider-Man is and who this neighbor that keeps mysteriously showing up and watching them. So
There you go. Yeah.
yeah, but you were
One other item I did have in mind was the one shot where the hand, all those red ninjas are jumping towards Spider-Man. He's jumping. It does appear like they're gonna do another one of those scenes from like the No Way Home trailer where there's like clearly people edited out beneath him that the other people are jumping towards. I would really like to see like maybe a Spider-Man, Daredevil, and Punisher team up. That would be pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Charlie Cox has said that he's not in it, but obviously
we know how that goes.
one thing about Hollywood guys is you think like all these people, they're literally actors. Like they're literally trained to like act. So I'm assuming he probably would. I mean, look at Chris Evans. He's like, in that one interview, he's like, yeah, it's sad to just not be back with the gang. And like,
Chris Evans was burned in Avengers Doomsday.
Yeah, so I do think that would be kind of cool to see, like, whatever else is in the scene. Or maybe just the Hulk is beneath Peter in that scene. Like, Hulk, that'd be also pretty cool to see. Just a little team up there. It would be cool to, like, I'm excited to see more of, like, Bruce Banner and, like, the Hulk and all that. Like, in this context where he's not, like, with the Avengers. We just get, like, hopefully we get to see more of, like, just him and his character in general, like, interacting with Peter and everything. And another thing, too, with Scorpion and the end credit scene from Homecoming, I'm wondering, I've always wondered this, and I'm hoping it gets answered in this movie. Was the end credit scene from Homecoming right after Homecoming, before No Way Home, or was it after No Way Home? Because the Vulture says to Scorpion in that scene, if I knew like who he was, he'd already be dead.
I don't think
was the Vulture. Is the Vulture just trying to protect Peter from Scorpion in that scene, or was that actually after No Way Home,
where he didn't know
didn't know he was Peter, and that's why like that would kind of answer that question. And I think I'm excited to see Scorpion as well because obviously we've never seen him in live action before. His suit design looks really cool. I'm glad. I don't know if he'll have the helmet from the shots we see in the trailer. He doesn't have the helmet. If they don't have him with the helmet, I think that's cool. So I think sometimes the helmet looks a little goofy, but.
Okay.
Or if he does, that'd also be pretty cool as well. If they like modernize it. Another cool reveal to maybe see, like, and we got kind of hints from it in this trailer, is like if the opening of the film is going to be like a montage of him fighting all these different villains, because like we also see Boomerang, which I don't really know much about Boomerang at all. I've not like read any of the comics with him in it, but he is one of the villains you see in the trailer there. And Tarantula, I believe, is the other one. I also don't really know much about those characters, so it would be kind of cool to either see like a montage in the beginning of the film of like over the years, like since No Way Home, of like what he's been doing, like fighting all these villains, or maybe they all just play a part. Like he has to take on like some like Sinister Six type of thing, like in the PS4. That would be really cool to see. That would be pretty awesome.
Have an idea. What if in those 4 years that this time jump is happening, Miles Morales is bitten by his spider, right? And then Peter dies at the end of this movie, and then that's when Miles Morales steps out as the next Spider-Man because Spider-Man's dead, and that kind of sparks him to, you know, now they're in need. So maybe like, and this, I could be so incorrect with this, I just was kind of thinking about it because I think they're going to involve Miles Morales eventually, and I think it'll be interesting to see that kind of dynamic, but I don't know if they'll include him this early. But I think if they do a Sinister Six thing, I would personally be interested, like maybe potentially if that were to happen with Miles and Peter, because then that'd be something we didn't really see before, and that would kind of be just something fresh. But also we would get another side of Peter where he's like more of a mentor, that kind of thing, and hopefully he can form a relationship with someone that gets what he's been through, and I think that is a very important thing, especially at this time right now, and hopefully after the symbiote or before, like forming relationships, because if you don't have anyone, then you get lonely really quickly. And I think that if the symbiote gets him when he's like down, 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 it's going to be really hard to bring him out of it. I think if he
Yeah.
does get the symbiote, it's going to be probably after he's established some relationships with people, and then hopefully those people help bring him out of it.
Yeah, that's a good idea. I I do want to see Miles Morales in the MCU. I don't know if like Brand New Day would be too early. I don't think he'll be in this movie because it feels like there's already a lot of characters going into this movie and it'll probably get overwhelming relatively
Oh, I don't
quickly.
think he'll be in this. I think if he's going to be mentioned at all, it'll be a post-credit scene,
Mm.
that kind of
Okay.
thing, because it'll be like Peter dies, we don't see anything of him. And what was I going to say? But kind of like how B-Man was saying, where like at the event after Doomsday, the post-credit scene of just Spider-Man crawling out of the grave, like Spider-Man will return, that kind of thing. I mean, that would still work if they were to introduce Miles Morales, and like that would
Oh, for sure.
that would give
Yeah.
enough time for Miles Morales to try and figure out himself, and then
I
that
I do
kind of
like
thing.
that idea.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
like
then
the idea of
maybe. Oh, sorry, you keep going.
oh no, I like that idea though of Peter dying and we get introduced to MCU Miles while he's dead before he comes back. I think that would be cool. And then we get like he comes back, Miles. I don't want them to copy the Insomniac like, PS games, but like if Miles helps get
We'll
Lee
see.
back, but no, seeing Miles Morales come back like with Peter once he's come back to life after Secret Wars or around there, I think would be pretty cool.
I think it'd be very interesting to see if Peter gets the symbiote, like some sort of like jealousy situation going on, because obviously
Hmm.
Peter sees the repercussions of if
Yep.
New York did see his identity, how they would have treated him. And say Miles comes around and New York loves him, there might be some sort of fight scene there where that kind of thing. I don't know who would step in or if Miles could take him, or I don't know how that would play out, but I think it'd be very interesting to kind of see. um I don't know, we've only seen angry Peter about once, and he
Right.
almost killed Norman, so I wouldn't mind seeing that again and seeing
It
how that would
it
play
would
out.
be. And whether it's in Brand New Day or in a future movie like after Secret Wars, I think having like MJ with like her new boyfriend and then him having the symbiote suit at the same time, like if they like I don't want the entire movie to be sad and depressing, but like just to have that point in the story, like this did happen. Like he got the symbiote suit. He's like MJ doesn't remember him still, all of this. Or even at this point, if she only remembers him a little bit, or she maybe she does remember, like how heartbreaking would that be? She does remember him, and it was like actually like I'm with someone else right now, and like then he gets the symbiote suit on top of that. Play into that thing where you were saying about Miles coming, like in between there, him being jealous of Miles,
Yeah,
all of that, like just
the
I
lowest of lows.
oh yeah, have the
I,
second Tom Holland trilogy movie be like really dark, and then have the third one just be pure awesomeness. Like he gets back together with MJ. Oh, but one idea I did have: what if Ned is the one who actually helps Peter get the symbiote suit off? Like how great! Like if Ned helps them
and
get
and then in the next movie becomes the villain, and it hits that much harder because
right.
he just
Oh,
helped him out of
Yeah.
the lowest
Yes.
of lows.
Like how
ugh,
crazy would that
Oh,
be?
that would be
yeah,
so heartbreaking.
they
It was
could
so heartbreaking.
they could set Ned up to be
Yeah,
one
but
of
if
the
Ned
big
has to
Spider-Man
die,
villains.
I'm gonna cry, honestly. Ned has been like the out of all of Peter Parker's friends that we've ever seen, Ned
Ned's
is
the
top
most
tier.
consistent.
Oh,
He's
for
Addie, I
sure.
don't know if you saw the thing I sent you on Instagram today, but it was a like series of pictures of like since Peter was Ned's only friend in high school and he forgot who Peter was, Ned only remembers high school alone and like a little bit of MJ, and that's it. And I
that.
was like, I'm not okay now because no,
Oh,
like
Oh,
poor Ned, like because he's
oh yeah.
like
why did you bring that up, Zach?
I
That's
know. It's
heartbreaking.
like so maybe we'll see the like maybe like we'll see how he's like depressed or something
Uh,
in the new movie and how
yeah.
him meeting Peter again will like kind of spark something and like MJ like them still being friends obviously because they're still friends in this and they were at the end of No Way Home. All that we saw that pretty clearly. Like I think him kind of dealing with that, the effects of the spell and how this affected so many people.
Yeah.
And then also the Void too. I think that would be cool to see like how the Void affected like all these different people. And
Yeah.
maybe Ned and MJ were in that group of people.
Mm.
I don't want to see Peter's void rooms because I'm just gonna cry. But another thing that I really noticed when I was watching the trailer, and I showed Zach pretty much as soon as the trailer after we got done, um, it's so sad how much Peter looks like Tony in some scenes.
Mhm.
I love Peter and Tony. I love their dynamic. Marvel did not do them justice, but I saw this thing. It was just a small post meant to break your heart, you know. And it was like in another universe, instead of going to Mysterio or Nick Fury or Bruce Banner, he'd be going to Tony, and Tony would
Yep.
figure it out in
Yep.
5 minutes and get it
Hmm.
all figured out for him. So I saw that and it was really sad. But
No.
especially in the one scene where he has the black tank top on, and in the
Yep.
lab, it is like almost a direct parallel to Tony in the first Iron Man movie when he's working on his new suit.
Yeah.
So I saw that, and I wonder if Marvel did that on purpose. Like, I wonder if like the
Yeah.
changes that were happening to Tony during that scene, like meant like
Well,
motivation wise.
here's the thing about movies in general. Like most movies, everything that's on screen is completely intentional. So even down to the costumes, even if it's a simple just black tank top within that setting, I think that's meant to kind of spark that. Speaking of like him in the lab and all of that, I did have a thought. What if Miles Morales is like one of his classmates and like he's doing experiments with Bruce Banner and Miles is one of his classmates and is around, right?
They had a group project and they were paired together. And
Right.
so it's like a first meeting.
That would be kind of cool. Maybe just like a little subtle thing, or like maybe that's how Miles gets like his spider powers is from like Peter's mutated genes, like going out of control or in the scanners or in the tests. Like he gets exposed to that if he's like near or around Peter or something. I don't know. It not like super relevant. I think it's just a random thought that just
Yeah.
came to my mind. Oh,
Or
Maddie has the shock face on.
sorry, I just thought of something that blew my mind a little bit. Or in Secret Wars, something happens like, okay, you guys remember, and this could have happened during that. No, because Doctor Strange's spell. Okay, you remember how the sky was turning purple and everything was
Yeah,
everything
yeah,
that
yeah.
Peter Parker? Like, it's very similar to how Miles Morales got bit in Into the Spider-Verse, where it
Hmm.
wasn't supposed to be there. What if instead of Marvel making Morales happen so much sooner, after like Secret Wars or Doomsday, whatever multiverse things going on
Yeah,
over there,
yeah.
a spider comes through and gets Miles.
That would
Yeah.
be cool.
I don't know. They could do that. I think they might want to change it up, but I don't know if
Yeah.
unless Peter's like producing spiders, which I hope not, because that's so
I
terrible.
don't, yeah.
Um, that'd be like
That'd be weird.
like Ned when he's like
Marvel, do
"Yay."
not do that. If
Um,
you're listening, do not get any ideas. Please
Don't-
don't
Ned,
ever do
no,
that.
Ned foreshadowed it the whole
yeah,
time, guys.
you lay eggs,
You
dude. No.
please no.
Um,
Yeah, I do like that idea though, because it would tie in like the Spider-Verse or the Spider-Verse to be of the MCU mixed with the Avengers films. I think that like
Yeah.
that'd be a good way to like kind of mix it up. I do I do think that they will end off like the Beyond the Spider-Verse and all of that. Like let's see that story continue. I don't think they'll do like Miles or Gwen or any of that into the MCU yet until like after all the animated movies have wrapped up, which I think they should do so that way it's just
It doesn't feel very samey.
yeah. Well, I had that thought for a while. Like I thought everybody's going to be very samey because obviously it didn't play out this way, but Marvel Spider-Man 2 had Venom, was the main villain.
Yeah.
They were also coming out with Venom 3, which is at the time rumored to have Andrew Garfield in it, and there's going to be like Andrew and Venom thing. And then also the concept art got like the official concept art for Tom Holland's symbiote suit also was out. I was like, are we just gonna have like three major projects like all really close together, all with like Venom and Spider-Man? Like that's just gonna be a little too much, but obviously it's not playing out that way. And I am actually like in the mood for some more Venom and Spider-Man action. So let's get that in the next movie, please. Marv,
I
please.
was rewatching Homecoming, and like while there's this whole joke that's happening right now, I guess, with the Spider-Man community of like Peter Parker's miserable, let's go.
Yes, I've seen that.
I'm so sad. Like I like I don't know. I've loved these characters since I was a kid. Most of us do.
Hmm.
And like I don't know, it just breaks my heart. I personally love the more cheerful Spider-Man aspects of it.
I do
While I
too.
do
Yes.
relate to like all the loneliness and all that, I do think it's very important. I
Mhm.
do want this movie, they either need to make this the darkest one for me personally, like how I would prefer it, this one being the darkest, the next one darker but not the darkest, and then the last one being light, or like kind of something along those lines, but like trying
I
to
see what
end
you're
it on
saying.
somewhat of a good note, kind of how they did
It
No Way Home.
definitely needs to end off on a good happy note.
Yeah,
Maybe just have it end with like, yo, okay, so maybe by the time the third Spider-Man movie, Zendaya and Tom Holland are actually having their baby in real life, and then that's how they ended off because Tom has said when he's a dad, he's gonna quit acting. So in the third Spider-Man movie, they just had their baby. They finish up like Spider-Man 3, and it's like MJ and Peter are together and they have their baby, and they end it there, and that would be amazing. Please, Marvel, just give us that, please, and then just let Tom and Zendaya just have their time and then we can be done. And it can just end like that, and nothing else needs to
Yeah.
happen. And don't touch him ever again. Just give us a good, happy ending.
what if when Peter Parker dies the spell is broken? What if MJ remembers after Peter's dead? Because isn't the spell tied to Peter? Right? So if Peter dies,
Hmm.
would that break Doctor Strange's spell? Because they've only ever used the spell to like forget parties and like at least from what we know. So if Peter were
Right.
to die, would MJ and Ned suddenly remember? And then that could be like the
Hmm.
high note that they remember, and then the symbiote takes Peter, and then the whole time they're trying to convince Peter that like they remember, and
Right.
And the
he's
symbiote
like,
like
"No, you
won't
don't. You're
let
just
him.
saying
No.
it." That kind of thing. And then that like
Yeah.
levels it to where the third movie, because like this one would be like obviously the whole spider mutation, yada yada yada. They don't remember him thing.
Yeah.
Dies. They remember. They're like, oh my gosh, he's dead. Sad. And then the next movie, he's in the symbiote suit, and then they're trying to get him back. They
Yeah.
eventually get him back, and then the next one, passing the mantle to someone else, so then Peter can live peacefully.
That I'm totally
Yeah.
fine with that. Let's do that,
Marvel,
Marvel.
can you
That
do that,
we can
please?
do that. I wouldn't be upset.
I always wonder when we're talking about this, like, because we did not have the podcast when the next Spider or the last Tom Holland Spider-Man movie came out, so we didn't really
Yeah.
get to talk. We talked about our own personal theories.
Hmm.
I know a few of mine were correct for No Way Home, just some like very small ideas I had.
Right.
I'm very interested to see if we're right.
That'll be
Yes.
fun.
Yeah, with Doomsday and Brand New Day, I'm very interested to see what happens because then we can be like, wait, we called it. We knew.
Yeah.
Our post Brand New Day
Yeah, the
episode
post
will
brand
be
new
crazy.
guys, subscribe, hit the notification bell so you guys are notified exactly when we release our reaction to the full Spider-Man Brand New Day movie. You're not going to want to miss it.
Yeah, but with Brand New Day releasing, we're very excited to be talking about the theories. I think this season is going to focus heavily on Brand New Day, with everything that we are getting, along with Beyond the Spider-Verse and all the Marvel projects that are starting to come out. Hopefully, we'll get more trailers, and we'll continue to talk about that this season on the podcast. That's all for today's episode.
Thank you all so much for watching.
Be sure to swing by the link below to check out our merch. Catch
you
y'all
on
in the
the
next
next
one.
Intro. I think I remember it this time, actually.
I really hope so.
Okay. Wait, doesn't it? So, we say hi?
You,
Like, well,
is this ever going to end? No, I don't think it will.
no, like,
That's all for today's episode.
Yeah.
yeah. Do I say that? That's all for today's episode. Thank you so much. Don't forget to subscribe.
No, thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to swing by and check out the rest of our episodes. Catch y'all in the next one.
Be sure to
Hey,
swing
Siri,
by.
is word of your word?
I can hear
Be sure to
Charlotte.
swing by the link in the description to check out the. That's so long.
No, all you have to say.
Stop. Oh.
Oh,
Swing
up.
down. To...
with my directions.
Yeah, swing up to the merch.
Actually, gonna go down to Indiana, and then we're gonna go up to Florida.
When you guys come up to Missouri, it's like it is literally southwest.
Oh, the worst.
We're literally
feeling.
going down
Literally
at an
the
angle
night after we
Not
got
and
back.
west.
I can't do directions.
It's editor Charlotte.
Charlotte.
Hey.
We are so sorry, but you're so goated.
Hey, Charlotte.
What?
Where are you at? This one may be a little tougher to edit just because it's like the recording has stopped multiple times. I know. Hey, but we have left inspirational quotes for you throughout the whole episode. So as you're editing through, you'll see the inspiration, you'll get inspired. And Charlotte, just remember, editing is a mindset.
I'm gonna throw you out the window.
Editing is a mindset.
Editing is a mindset. It's a frame of mind. It's what you bring to the editing, not what the editing brings to you. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. I feel so bad for Charlotte.
Yeah.
Charlotte, I know at this point you're probably getting frustrated. You're probably feeling really down, and you probably just want to quit. But remember, editing is a mindset.